Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is TeamDiffOpen. We are starting the first pick and draft game with Dream Esports versus Nutro, I want to say. I am Arctic.
Naiste HIRM.
I am Arctic, joined by.
Hello, I am T1NCR, Tinker for short.
All right, starting off draft here. We have an Aurelia ban followed by a Cogmore ban.
Yeah, I think if you're red side, you need to take away the Pantheon. You gotta get him out of, the game to start off with.
Very strong bans coming out here. The Wukong particularly currently in the meta right now for jungle and possibly top wise. Banning that flex, just a strong jungler in general with the knock ups, the engage, kind of taking away a lot of AD picks here from both sides.
Yeah, Corki and Wukong very popular as the R1, R2 picks, so taking those off the table early on means it could lead in for the potential for the Pantheon, but it will be the Zyra. There's now moving forward Aurora looking to be the R1 pick over on Dream Esports, most likely going into one of those solo lanes. There is the potential for it to go into the support role, but we will see a last-second switch to Jace there. Looking to try and get some potency on that top side. It's a very aggressive pick, does need to get ahead early, but if Jace can get a foot in the door, very hard to take down.
Very much inconclusive there between Aurora and Jace. Any particular reason why you think that maybe?
I think possibly they're looking to, take the Jace away early. They see the Zyra come through, which means you need to go for a more AD-heavy solo lane. So maybe taking the option of the Jace away early on, potentially even holding Aurora for a later pick.
The Zyra Ashe coming out, their bot lane picks, trading in for the top and jungle picks, it seems like. Is this really what they want to go for? Do they just have that much of a confidence of a bot lane where they just want to show their hand early on?
I think it's a little bit risky at the moment, especially with picks like Jinx and Smolder still open. It's not about overall lane dominance, it's more so about just getting into the late game with those. So I think if you are this red side, you want to pick up one of those late game hyperscaling carries. Corki's been taken away, so I think it's Jinx that should be the pick.
I would very much lean towards Jinx. Jinx here for Dream Esports. The Jinx kind of with, combined with the Nocturne G, it's very either pokey or just go all-in one-shot combo. It's going to be really good, especially for Jinx's passive, where depending on the amount of kills she gets, whether that's turrets, epic monsters, or just champions, she gains that really increase of stats in an instant, which can really turn fights, especially for a Jinx. But instead, they're going to pull out a Varus instead. It looks like they're going to go for a very pokey team comp in my eyes. Varus or Jhin seems to be what they're hovering, inconclusive between it. Obviously, both have their pros. I much prefer a Varus, to be honest with me.
Yeah, I do agree, and they are going to lock it in. Usually we see Varus as a red side ban, has been banned quite a lot, because it is a very good first pick, very versatile, and to just give it away, especially into a decent matchup with the Ashe as well, it's a little bit perplexing, but it seems that, Naiste HIRM, they might have a plan for this, as Yasuo is the first ban in the second phase.
It does seem like the blue side here very much responded to that Jace top lane with a Gragas. I'm not sure who I'd favor in that lane. I think I'd much prefer the Jace. In my opinion, is a much more strong comp. He has much more, versatility. Maybe they've gone with the flex into a mid or top, depending on, which matchup they would prefer during that early and mid game for Dream Esports. The Galio ban coming out, followed by the Yasuo ban, obviously getting rid of for red side, they need someone AP wise on their team. They're going to pick that Galio, or they're going to go with like a Victor, a Zig, getting that Galio, the very strong, tanky front line with a lot of versatility to be able to roam early on, help out those side lanes, which is kind of what it looks like Dream Esports is responding here. They're going to be focusing on those solo lanes, especially, the top lane and the bot lane are going to be the two lanes that I currently see them focusing on. So that's, I presume, why they took out the Galio. Again, Orianna, another strong AP mid lane, Again, with that poke, that engage combined with Nocturne, Orianna Nocturne's just a strong combo in terms of the mid and jungle. It offers them a lot of versatility, a lot of lockdown too.
Yeah, Galio was the immediate pick I was thinking of. You've got a Jace, you've got a Nocturne, you've got a Varus. You need something AP, but you also need a little bit of support for that front line. And it seems like they're going to pick it up here. be a Jace mid or potentially on support here. This could be interesting.
Seems like both teams have very, shown their hands early on in where they want to focus. The blue side here with the Zyra Ashe bot lane, but with Dream Esports, they're looking very much to just play towards that top side right now. With the Jace Nocturne Ornn, the Ornn pick, very unexpected from me personally. I was, expecting someone who had a bit more range to offer. But I suppose sending that Jace mid and that Ornn top's going to be really good, because the Ornn now into Gragas is going to be, an ideal for red side, but blue side is going to respond with a Mel. Obviously, whoever they send in the top lane, Mel's just going to be able to reflect anything right back at them.
Yeah, and I think crucially, Mel being able to use the W to send back those chains of corruption from the Varus, meaning that the sort of engage setup for this red side is going to be a little bit stunted, especially Call of the Forge God can be denied as well, as Rek'Sai will be the last pick.
Rek'Sai, I think, just a really strong champion right now, especially in the jungle. The blue side's going to finish with their jungle, seeing who the red side's going to pick. They already know. They already know what they wanted to pick probably early on. They're just waiting to see if it was a viable pick. Because obviously Rek'Sai, you can, she can be many kind of, different champions in one. She can be more of an assassin type or more of a bruiser type and front lane type. So it really just offers the versatility in there. Obviously, Dream Esports going to respond with the Rel Varus versus the Asara bot lane. With obviously Mel being picked there, they really do need a strong engage that just can't be cancelled. That Rel pick's exactly what they needed, in my opinion. I mean, let's see what
lengthy pause.
After a lengthy pause for some technical difficulties, we are getting into it. Now, we're going to be watching, Dream Esports here. Dream Esports pinging their red side, just going for the standard cover that we've been seeing quite a lot happen. The 5-man invade in the top red side, if you are playing on the red side of the map, just them sitting in their red jungle. Nocturne and Ornn, though, going a bit daringly, going through the mid bush into their jungle, seeing if they can catch out anyone. The Zyra's there, sees them coming. The info that they're getting here is going to be really good. A little bit of poking out, though. Poke going on to Nocturne was completely fine. He gets out unscathed.
Yeah, what I was talking about earlier about Rek'Sai potentially invading those Raptors, she is hovering the top side, but Varus and Rel going to be able to find something here.
The Mel getting, poked out a bit, unfortunately. The flash coming out from Mel as well, having to use that to escape level 1. That is really crucial for the mid lane. It does seem that we have the Jace. We were wondering this before. Is it going to be the Jace or the Ornn in mid and top? It does appear to be the Jace. I think this puts Jace at a big disadvantage here, especially after level 2.
Yeah, but Mel is down the flash, so we might potentially see some aggressive plays come through from Jace. Could see some early kills even. And junglers will be starting on opposite ends. Rek'Sai starts on the blue, and so does Nocturne, opposite sides of the map. But I think, this favours the Rek'Sai. Rel not going to be able to have too much of an impact early on into the laning phase, as she is only level 1. No real advantage there. So I think it's Rek'Sai favoured.
I believe so too, but watching the spot side here, just kind of, the expected poke going back and forth in the bot lane, the Ashe just dominating the lane with the Zyra, having to keep that Rel and Varus off, but this is exactly what they wanted in this lane. They pushed the Varus Rel behind in the early levels, but I think in the later levels, this is where, the red side comp really excels.
Yeah, and they do manage to get level 2 first. They do have a decent wave shoving in, but it looks like it's going to easily be collected.
Going to the mid lane now, just, the casual slow early game that we, very much expected if there was no, invade level 1. Besides the Mel losing a flash, this push Jace had a very big, advantage getting that level up as well. Shortly responding by the Mel. Jace going in, getting chunked for half his HP. This is kind of how we expected this lane to go. Jace already going for the recall, having to most likely respond with the TP. Mel sees this. Doesn't seem like there's going to be too much going on though.
Yeah, Jace does have that TP up and available, so might potentially look to back with McCull. I don't know if he'd be opting for that so early on, but seems like he might. Just try and get whatever advantage he can here in mid.
Alright, Graggy and Ornn in the top lane here, just, slamming it back and forth. Ornn very much having the, the advantage health-wise, but not really the, the advantage mana-wise. where does this put this lane? It seems like Ornn's going to go in, the Unstoppable comes out, the stun gets the chunk. Ornn winning this trade though. Bot lane seem like they're going to go for a gank now. Rek'Sai's coming in, the Varus is low HP. The Rek'Sai sees him, stalking its prey, going up very slowly. Does Redside know this? It seems like it is very likely. The ward's coming out. The Q coming out from Rek'Sai just hitting him, not doing enough damage though. This does leave, 90 Page off, not really not doing much right now. The gank failed. Varus and Rel being able to return back after that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but Varus has to stay at the moment, otherwise he will be down a level, and you need level 3 as that Varus. He has managed to pick it up, but he needs this wave, he needs this gold. This is the issue that we were talking about earlier on. The push from Zyra Ashe is just so much, and that Rel early on doesn't have the HP to be able to fully tank it. Right now, Rel Varus, they will be taking the reset. They will move out of the way, try and get that health back, try and be able to just come back into this lane. They are very much behind at the moment. They're down in CS. The Zyra push has been too much for the Varus to be able to handle at the moment. So they really have to be careful.
Does seem like the first Drake is up.
Yeah, first Drake and Ocean. I don't think either team's going to be putting too much, overall pressure for this. They're not going to be so precious about it. I think in terms of who is favoured for it, I think it's got to be Naiste HIRM, as we do see potentially an engage here. Onto Nocturne on his Raptors. Rek'Sai finds him. Goes over the wall with the tunnel. Is able to land the knocker, but there's Rel here to support.
Nocturne getting caught out, getting rooted, getting stunned. Rek'Sai just completely demolishing that Nocturne. Nocturne not really being able to move. That's kind of what we expected with the double CC from Mel and Zyra there, along with Rek'Sai having the knock-up. Really, if they can single out that target and just, keep them down, throw them up, and just keep them there, that's exactly what blue team want.
Yeah, and that kill goal going over to Rek'Sai. Not only that, but also the buff resets as well, meaning that she's going to have a little bit of a healthier clear on top of everything.
Rek'Sai having gone for the invade here now on the reset. Nocturne's just discovering this. This is really what, the vision advantage can lead to. It can lead to, your jungler stealing those camps after killing, the Nocturne going down. It really just gives them that advantage.
Yeah, but thanks to Rek'Sai's reset, Nocturne is going to be first to the Drake pit. But does he have, the engage here? Is still level 5, no paranoia just yet. The control ward doesn't go down. Zyra's protecting this with her life, but there is going to be an engage coming. Ashe.
Flash coming out from the Rel. The Varus just left behind, having to flash also. Rek'Sai out coming out on the Varus getting chunked, the Rek'Sai being stunned, taking down Rel, but is it just enough? Rek'Sai's having to leave, Varus is 1 HP.
A single Q shot does it.
Oh, taking down the Rek'Sai, the Zyra flash just, finishing off the Varus that survived for a bit too long in my opinion. The ult coming out from Nocturne, focusing the Zyra who's a bit behind, the wave isn't there, going down. The TP coming out from red side though. The Rel responding with the spellbook, coming down and into the fight, going after the Ashe. The Nocturne and Rel are running for it. Ashe sees them coming, going to continue running. This brute comes out, the flash comes out from Nocturne, the stuns come out, the flee, the Nocturne bullying, the Ashe comes out, responds, Rel's tanking it, but is it going to be enough? Taking 1, taking 2, Nocturne's going down, Rel responding back in, it's just not enough. What a fiesta in the bot lane then.
It is so messy. The Varus being able to pick off the Rek'Sai on quite literally 1 HP. And then it just unfolds in a manner that you just really do not want. It's unclean, it's messy, it gives a kill over to Ashe when it really shouldn't have been.
But it does seem like blue side now want to go for the grabs now. Witch Doctor walking up with Signal Mail. Starting the grub. Starting this a bit early, don't you think? Every team seems to be scattered. Bot lanes are sending their lanes up towards the grubs, getting to get it, but I think the red team are just waiting a bit too long. They're not really doing anything, having to sit back, waiting for their team to come. Taking down 2 grubs for blue side. Witch Doctor just pushing back the Ornn. Blue side, no, they've got this in the bag. Taking down 2 grubs, going for the third. Red team just backing off.
Yeah, I mean it's a very aggressive grub take, but I think that if you're Dream Esports, I think you can put a little bit more oomph into that.
I think,
you know, Gragas stepped up towards, you know, Hooks there, the Ornn in top side. Kind of opened up a potential door here. But it's 3 for the side of Naiste HIRM.
alrighty, going back to bot lane here. Drake's up. It's going to be the first Drake of the game. Both junglers pathing down towards bot. What do you think the plan is here? Oh, the Varus ult coming out onto the rail. The rail coming out stunned. Ashe going down. Oh my god, so much has just happened in the past 5 seconds. Going from the grass fight immediately to the kill bot side. This is, putting Ashe really behind here.
Yeah, the chains of corruption come through, connecting on to Ashe, and then all of a sudden the Magnet Storm comes in, and all of a sudden the Ashe can't move. There's a Varus free, and that empowered Q, it does make the difference here. It is, building towards a lethality Varus. So it needs to be very much respected.
Red side obviously taking this Drake, securing it. They've got the man advantage. Going there earlier. The Nocturne jumping on the Ashe. The Ashe coming out. The Root coming back out on the Nocturne. Is it enough? Nocturne's going to go down. Varus and the Rel are just going to have to sit there and sit in those flowers and just be punished for it.
Yeah, it's very overconfident. A very big overextension. I think it's a little bit overly greedy. Your Varus already picked up 2 kills. It's just too confident. The wave's also coming into you as well. You're pushing the wave. Just overconfident, and they hand over 2 kills to Ashe.
Oh lord, it seems like both teams are attempting to recover this now. The Zarya going in for a jungle. Red side obviously having it heavily warded from the Drake fight. They're going to see the Zarya attempting to move down, trying to sneak by in the river. Rel's going to anticipate this. Jace is going to start moving down. He's going to hover around that mid lane, expecting someone to have from bot side. For red side, for Dream Esports here, I think you really need to, start focusing on that bot side. They've made too many mistakes and they're way too far behind.
Yeah, this Ashe is now starting to get a little bit into the mix, and that could prove disastrous for, Dream Esports. 2 kills, you were very solidly up and ahead, and now it's all gone back over.
The Root coming out here onto the Zyra, the Rel engaging, the Varus getting the one shot. This is exactly where Poke Varus, exceeds. The keeping, the Rel ult keeping the Ashe close, not letting her move.
Yeah, it's just a series of overstepping at the moment. And can Naiste HIRM, get some kind of foothold back again? Rek'Sai did try and look for the Jace in mid lane. Not going to be able to find any kind of kill there.
The Zarya and the Melhair going to the mid lane. Is Zarya's going to see the Zarya going to get poked out? The wood's coming out. It looks like blue side's very much wants to make a play mid here. The Jace being chunked, the Comet coming out, and the poke just from Mel is going to be too much, I wonder. Not really much happening, except the Rel being caught out here is going to lead to anything. Unfortunately not. There's Zyra and her plants hurt really so much here against the Rel, but it's not going to be enough. The Rel's going to go in, the Zyra's going to have to flash out. Nocturne out follows. Really good use of the Nocturne out there. Just really unfortunate Zyra had flash. I don't think they anticipated it.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit scrappy.
Definitely not what we anticipated. Bleeding, and this is still kind of early game towards the end of laning phase, and it just seems like both teams are just trying to make up for the mistakes that they made early on in this game. Scores are currently 6-7 with a 700 gold lead to Dream Esports. It really makes you wonder how this game's going to go, because looking, me right now, I think this game's going to go either way. The Ashe ult coming out onto the rail, they're not seeing, Red side not seeing the Rex side there. Going once, the Ashe just being deleted, and now 90 Pages is going to have to run away. The overstay because of the Nocturne, getting the poke out from Varus, getting the Rex side low. It's not going to be enough though. Drake's up in a minute. This has put Blue side a very rough response here. Nocturne's just going to walk around, having the pressure of the HP. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Blue side are going to get out, but this does mean Dream Esports do get the first turret and the plates, though.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the kills, in reality, Dream Esports should be up another 2 kills. That overextension onto the Ashe is, made the bot lane difficult to begin with, but it seems like, the Varus and the Rel really coming back into this. That Varus Savage Ashe just popped like a balloon. And it's just going to get more difficult now, because while, Ashe and Zyra, they're going to gain levels, they're going to gain base, they're not intending to build, they don't want to build armor, they don't want to, waste item slots on the armor when they need to be the damage. So that Varus is just going to keep dealing a nuts amount of, they're going to be taking their health bar down to nothing.
Jace going on the engage here against Gragas. This is really what we expected early on in the draft of the top lane fight to be. This, Jace, very pokey, but also engagey against the Gragas. Getting chunked on the Gragas. Gragas going a bit low here. Missing the Q from Jace, but he still gets the auto attack, winning the trade ultimately. In the meantime, the Nocturne is going to be taking down the Herald here. Both sides seeming to have swapped with their bot lane to top. Is this what was needed though? Seems like for Blue side it didn't really benefit them, only put them at a disadvantage with, Dream Esports getting the Herald now.
Yeah, the Herald pickup. The assumption is that it's going to be used to take this mid-tier 1, but there's going to be a Paranoia come through.
The fight coming out, taking it down Red side here. The TPs are going to be coming out. Blue side's going to be engaging, getting the most chunk onto Red side. Dream Esports taking 1, taking 2, going down. Witch Doctor getting the trade. This is going to be a 3-for-3 trade right now. But it is Ashe in the middle alive. Ashe is going to be on the chase, but Ashe is going to leave Mel behind just a little bit. Jace going to be jumping on the backline. Ornn and Jace here currently sandwiched in between the Ashe. The Ashe has to make a decision. Who does she target? The flash coming out from the Ashe, the perfect kiting, dodging the abilities. Is this going to be Ornn going down? It's going to be the slow, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh, and crucially, something that kind of decided the fight, Ornn missed the ult. He might have called the Forge God in, but he wasn't back. So, the carries from Naiste HIRM, they were able to free fight, just left alone. If that Ornn Horn connects, it's going to be a whole different story. But, in the end, it is going to be a trade in favor of Dream Esports, but it's so much messier than what it could have been.
Is this going to have any repercussions? The Jace going now back top side, but the Rel is going to get caught out, going for attempted, invaded vision. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. The Rel just being slightly chunked though, with an attempt to get this mid lane tier 1, because they've got the bot tier 1, meaning they have all the bot side pressure. But it just means that they now need to take down that mid lane, which is where both teams are going to, have to get together and stop it from happening. Getting down that bot tier 1 in the mid lane especially just creates, an area of safety around the rest of the map that really just puts, whatever side takes a turret at a very strong advantage.
Yeah, and I think if you're Dream Esports, I think you lean into that. I think you play the Herald in lane. I think you try and get to this inhib just before the Baron spawns. You don't take the inhib. Then what you do is you try and play for the Baron in topside. Once you have the Baron buff, that's when you try and bulldoze in to the bot side. But it looks like it's just going to go mid here.
Rel taking the Herald, but it's going to be enough. The Zyra ult coming out, the knockout's getting out, getting the stun on the Varus and the Nocturne, taking them both down. The Herald hitting the tower, but unfortunately Dream Esports just not being able to follow up on it because they just get taken down. Standing too close like that to the Herald is just asking for trouble. I think having that area of danger where the Rel gets hit out, I'd rather trade the Rel for my ADC in the jungle. But Dream Esports just didn't anticipate Zyra falling up on it and just got taken down for it. Now they can't really take control of that mid lane like they wanted to. Both teams just resetting.
Yeah, and crucially in that fight, Varus was the one who got caught by the enchanted crystal arrow. Ashe able to catch out the ADC because there was no front line. It was a Nocturne. The Herald. Herald can't tank an arrow, but Varus sure as hell did. And that's what sort of decided that mid lane fight, as they both get caught out by the Stranglethorns from the Zyra as well. And it just makes life extra difficult.
Does seem like that Ornna's going to be overstaying here. Rek'Sai's going to be jumping on the Nocturne ult, responding, jumping on the Mel. The Ornn just surviving that little bit off. The ult's coming out from Rel and Nocturne. Dream Esports taking down one, but blue team are going to respond with one. Zyra again taken down by the Nocturne. Rel now on the chase with Rek'Sai. Dream Esports managing to salvage that play with, the TP and the Nocturne ult. It really just shows that Lights Out is going to be more dangerous. Rel accidentally misclicking onto the, the Hex Gate there, but it doesn't matter because Rek'Sai still goes down. Oh my god. Dream Esports ultimately taking 2 for 1 there. Excellent, response from Dream Esports there. The Ornn overstaying, but the rest of the team just managed to, all come together at once and just help that Octurne stay alive.
Yeah, and it's once again, it's this collapse onto the Ornn, which is gonna be their sort of their mortal reminder, so to speak, as they're reminded Ornn is not going to go down easily, but there is going to be an attack.
The Atan coming out, there's going to be a team fight. The Zyra and Ashe ult both missing, unfortunately. The Rel having to flash out, but still getting caught by the Mel ult. That was very unfortunate for the Rel there. This is what we said, the poke from blue side here is just so much. It really just shows that red side really need to, have that Ornn there, really tanking this. But it doesn't matter. Nocturne going back in, responding with the ults. Near side, going to take down one, but not going to take down the rest or follow up on anything. They're going to now try and go for the Atakan here. Red side being caught out, Jace being caught out going in, the Gragas goes in, knockout comes up, the channeling from the Varus, the frontline from the Ornn. Is it going to be enough? The Rek'Sai being taken down by the Nocturne. Is it going to be enough though? The Ornn ult finally coming out, the Rek'Sai ult coming out, taking down one, taking down two. Graggy nearly taking down both the backline for Dream Esports, but Rel's going to be back up. The TP coming out from Rel, going in, taking it down. Oh my god.
It's an ace.
It is an ace from Dream Esports here, but is it going to lead to anything? Dream Esports really wanting that Drake, going to be the third Drake of the game, 2 going for Dream Esports here.
And that fight, it's all over the Atakan. Now, Naiste HIRM, they had the advantage going into the fight because Atakan, part of his passive is he will shred your armor and magic resist. The resistances of Dream Esports, they were already quite low, but the Ashe Arrow missed, the Zyra ult misses, and those are your 2 engage factors. That's how you lock down an opponent. And what ends up happening is the Rel has to use the W early, so she can't reflect the Varus ult and ends up contacting those chains of corruption and gets absolutely popped. That Varus arrow came through like a bullet, and my goodness, Mel definitely tanked it.
It took them down. The Zyra ult actually hitting this time. The Nocturne ult being in response to the Gragas ult coming out on the backline, getting that Rel low. The Rek'Sai's just going to go and seeing targets low. Is it going to matter? Takes down 2. Rek'Sai and Graggy just working together in perfect synergy, getting them down, taking the Atakan and taking down that the bot tier 1. What a stinker for Dream Esports there, losing 2 members in exchange for losing the Atakan and now a bot tier 1.
Yeah, and in the sort of draft talks we were talking about, if you have to walk in, if you can play from the range, if you are Naiste, that Zyra's going to be a problem. We saw the Strangle. It knocked up 2, but it was the 2 who you needed to move quickly. It sort of halted the Nocturne from going in. Yes, he managed to get 1 kill, but it was so delayed. He wasn't able to smite away to try and still the Atacon, it did go down to about 1k HP before being smited by 90-page PDF. But, you know, it's a messy fight from Dream Esports, and as a result, they lose the Atacon that, you know, most would have said is directly in their hands, and now you're on the back foot.
Now, it does appear a fight to be, you know, bubbling up in the mid lane. The Nocturne already being there for red side. They're not going to go for the mid turret, though. They'll be walking into the Baron pit, attempting to take that scuttle. Blue team are going to see this. You know, in response, they're going to much more clump for blue side. Red side getting together now, realizing their strong suit of, you know, they need the front line, they need the tankiness, they need to keep their backlines alive. Being caught out in the river like that is not going to be best for Dream Esports. But, you know, with the vision that Witchdoctor has here, they are going to see the bot lane move towards, you know, the mid there. Going to get caught out. The Rel taking a couple hits, but it's not going to be enough, I don't feel like. No, it's not.
Yeah, both teams just trying to get some kind of stronghold around this top side before the Baron comes up in about 45 seconds. Who do you really have favoured for this Baron fight? Because at the moment, I think it's Naiste HIRM.
I really think it is too. I mean, they seem, yeah, with the frontline capabilities that they have, they're a lot more stronger. They've taken back that gold lead. They were a couple K down, but now they're back to being even, you know, with 2 more turrets as well. They're just having a control over the entire map. It really just shows that with a team where you need to focus on your backline staying alive with that tankiness from the front, it is just going to be, you know, going to have its pros and cons. Varus going to get caught out here. Exactly what we said before, just being going to be sent around like a ping pong table. There's not really much that you can do from that Varus there. With his flash down, he can't really be up that far, and it is going to be Barons alive. With the ADC down, it does look like blue side here are going to very much try and take the aggro on that. Red team having to decide what can we do here. The Jace going to be staying bot side, just attempting to get, you know, a bit of gold back for the kill on Baron that they lost it. But it doesn't stop Dream Esports from going in. The Rel being caught out, getting knocked up. The Gragas, or the Ornn going in, responding with the entire team from blue side here. The Ornn coming out, but it's just a bit too late. This is very unfortunate. Dream Esports are just losing members upon members and gaining nothing from it. This is what the past team fights have been.
Yeah, I mean, you're down your Varus. You can't look for the fight here. You just have to try and look for the steal, but your Nocturne doesn't really want to go in, but it looks like...
The Jace going in is going to cause the Nocturne to come out. Rek'Sai's going to steal the Baron. Both teams fighting for this, but blue side just has the man advantage. Taking down 1, taking down 2. Lethal just barely surviving. The Rel just barely surviving 2 is now on the run. Gragas now following. Oh my god.
It's a second paranoia in. Rel does fall in the end. It's a second paranoia in, and it's a second objective that Rel was able to claim. And now, you know, you lose your Barons early in the fight. You take a bad, you know, attempt to stop the Baron. And the issue is, the silver lining was Jace was able to get that bot tier 2. Jace was able to, you know, get some side. He then TPs into top, and now all of a sudden you've lost that sort of pivot point that you did have. So now it's just looking like it's going to be an ARAM for Naiste HIRM.
I think Dream Esports, I think they just had to make that Hail Mary play. They didn't know if it was going to work. The chances of it were low. Still very close, though. Unfortunately, Nocturne just not being able to get the smite on the Baron does lead it falling to blue side. Even if I think if they got it, they still would have lost the fight, still would have lost men, but it doesn't matter. Rel being caught out once again. The Zarya ult coming out, airborning the Rel. Is it going to be enough? The Cleanse having to come out in response. I just think blue side here are just way much stronger. With the Baron, there's not really much you can do for Dream Esports. You just need to, you know, keep those lanes pushed out, try and save what you can. The Gragas going on the Jace. Obviously, the ult coming out, knock up, but it's not enough. Witchdoctor still managing to escape. The Nocturne responding with the lights out. He's going to get rooted, but he's going to take down 1. Is this going to be enough for Dream Esports to make a comeback? The Rel ult coming out. The Varus W coming out as well. And it's not going to be enough. Varus attempting to E in there, responding. But it is going to be Hans on the backline. The Ornn coming out, taking down that Mel. Taking down 3 for 2 here.
They make it even. They make it in their favour. But, you know, the person who's getting caught out here, it's Varus. It's Spike. He's being caught by the Gragas of all champs. I think for Dream Esports, you have to change the sort of orientation that you have for these team fights. You need to have your Ornn in front of the Varus at all times. Have Rel on the sideline. In that fight, Ornn, you know, he TP'd into the bot wave, got a huge Call of the Forge gold onto the Mel, able to take her down, but, you know, your Varus drops early on really low HP in the fight means he can't step up at all, because one Q from Mel, one volley from Ashe, and all of a sudden you're down your ADC. And the issue is, it's poke Varus, so if anyone jumps on top of him, he can't auto-attack to sustain himself. That's the downside of this build.
He really just leaves himself being open exposed, especially on the poke. This is where, the front line is essential. But when the Varus is in the front line, who's meant to protect him? There's no one there, possibly, to defend him.
Yeah, the issue is, it's only Varus as the damage. Jace, while he does deal a decent chunk, he's not your sustained poke. You need to keep Varus alive. Whereas, Naiste HIRM, if Ashe goes down, you still have Zyra, you still have Mel. You still have those long-range damage options. You're not sort of confining yourself. Now, if it was a Jinx, potentially I can see a good reason, but they did opt for this Varus. I just think they're not playing this as best as they could be, Dream Esports.
We had very much high hopes for them in the end, but it just seems that the comp is crumbling. Being able to, not being able to have the alignment correctly, it is going to seem that Blue side here are going to go for the top tier 2. Both teams knowing, and then the Ornn and the Graggy just having a fight on the bot side here. But it just means that they're just going to have to leave.
Yeah, they're trying desperately to get a point for, the Nocturne to be able to pop the Paranoia, go in onto one of those members, use that spell shield just to stay alive long enough to take one of them down. Because if you take one of them down, all of a sudden everyone's distracted. And then you have to turn your attention to a Nocturne, because if he gets autoing, he's not going to fall. So you have to take him down, and in that sort of chaos, you need this Ornn, this Well, to sort of come in along and back the Nocturne up, and then all of a sudden you've got a Varus on the outside poking them down. I do think, while Lethality Varus here has had some good moments, I think this should be an attack speed Varus. I think it's, he's needing this more prolonged skirmish heavy fight rather than picking people off, because the team comp around him, it just doesn't sustain a pokey playstyle. There's no one to really soften the enemies up who can't kill them themselves. Jace, if he catches a squishy, that squishy is long gone. There's no sort of doubt about it. If Nocturne's able to catch a squishy, they're gone as well. So what you really need is you need the Varus to sort of soften them up almost. And I think, yes, the Edge of Night, it's very, satisfying to have champs pop, but I just think on hit would work a lot better.
Yeah, I think you're right too there, to be honest. I think the on hit is really what's needed. Like, you're not going to keep that Varus alive. You need that Varus to sustain himself. You need him to do that damage. But on the counter side, you've very much got a long range team with the Zyra, the Mel there in response. Is Varus really the call here? Is what we're looking for just in general for a champion. Is there going to be alternatives that, if there was more games, Dream Esports could have picked? But it does seem like the Ashe ult is coming out on the top lane, going to just barely miss that Jace. It does seem like Blue side here are going to be making a play on the Jace here, but is there all going to be enough to respond? Attempt to go on the flank. Going to get caught out by Vision, though. Blue team just going to back off here, respond. Baron's up in 10. Is this going to be what's needed? Both teams trying to fight for mid-pro here, trying to gain control of that river. This is what's going to, really be the changer of this team fight. The decider is if they have the vision, if they know where the enemy teams are. It does seem like Blue side having very much more confidence here. Very playing up more and aggressive.
Yeah, but the Jace is on a sort of flank angle. That Gragas is level 18.
Ornn going to get caught out by the Mel. The stun coming out. Nocturne responding. Thought there was going to be a fight, but it just isn't. There's poke coming out. This is exactly what Dream Sports need to do. They just need to do it more confidently, I feel like.
Oh, explosive cast does get used. Manages to stun onto 2, but it's not going to be able to be followed up on. At the moment, it just seems like they're going for a little bit of
a little bit
ring
of a
around the
wonder.
rosy. A little bit of a dance, even.
Both teams trying to show off and perform what they can do, the best. But is it going to be working out? Blue side here very much going to retreat back into the river. The Drake's coming up. The Drake is up. Blue team just seeming much more confident, getting the poke lower. Somehow they managed to sustain themselves a bit longer. The redemption coming out onto Gragas. Ro attempt to find an engage. The Ornn ult coming out. The lights out coming out as well. The Ornn going to miss his ult. The Zyra ult going to be responsive. The stasis coming out. Is this going to be enough? Drake gets stolen. Gragas going to focus on the front line. Varus going to be focusing on the bot line. Is it going to be enough? No, it isn't. Dream Esports just don't have that damage. Triple kill going to Ashe. Taking down 1, taking down 2, taking down 3. what a cluster of a fight. Like we said, Red side really need to keep that Varus alive, which they managed to do, but their damage isn't enough. I think with the 3k gold lead ahead, it's just lacking the damage for Dream Esports here.
Yeah, and you know, Naiste HIRM, they managed to control this Drake pit, and that's what you need. You've got a Zorain. The first of the Nexus turrets is going to go down, and it looks like it's just going to be a quick
going
take.
To be game. Unfortunate there for Dream Esports. We had the confidence of them winning this early game, but it just wasn't enough. They just couldn't do it.